Hey folks, I would like to do a little reactional video with regards to the stand comedy club's Cowboy guy art getting removed. There's probably a nicer, neater way of dealing with it, but you know what? It's 9:30 at night and I don't give a flying shit. Anyway, right. So the stand comedy clubs are to be removing their cowboy image. You know that one. In regards to a cluster of very, very recent complaints, people being triggered, and I'm offended, right? I mean, in the Glasgow branch, especially, that bit of artwork has been up 40 years. It's been through multiple wars, it has been through multiple terrorist attacks, it has been through multiple governmental changes, first ministers. It was on the wall through the IndyRef process. It has clocked up quite a mileage on that wall. It has been seen by many, many, many uh, comedians' YouTube videos featuring them doing comedy with the wee gun guy in the background, right? Mine as well, although I'm not a comedian anymore. Anyway, right. In recent times, complaints have been made. I've done complaint management, and for somebody to all of a sudden make a collection of complaints about a bit of artwork that's been sat on the wall for multiple decades makes me think, to be honest, it's not a genuine complaint. It's somebody's turned up, they've had a bit of a bad night, they've went home, felt bad, and instead of doing what everyone else has, put up and shutting up with regards to it. They've hammered the keyboard, went on Facebook, made some various noises here and there, etc. And now quite a landmark bit of art that stands behind a comedian as he's doing or she's doing her graft is now to be replaced. Now there's a place in my mind, a phrase more like, and the phrase is called Caveat emptor, right? That basically translates as buyer beware, right? Example, down in Swansea, there was a old lady that went to go to the Odeon and watch a movie. The ticket seller said, this is an 18 film. This features guns." The flyer featured the words much the same. She wandered in. She came out at the end of the film and started getting all, "I am offended. Oh, there's guns. This is terrible." Blah, 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 blah. Right, and the same teller was on as she was leaving, and the person said, "Well, we did tell you it features guns. The flyer mentions it, and then there's also a warning just before the start of the film. You have chose to ignore all the above, so it's on your head." And the customer left after that. You know, this is where society in general really needs to regain its self responsibility instead of its absolute absurd bullshit, right? And much the same with that situation, any comedy venue up and down the country, or maybe even round the world, features a 18 logo for a reason. Offensive language, sometimes offensive sites, and sometimes offensive themes. So if people are going to run rickshaw over the warnings, sit in, watch some offensive comedy or whatever, and then get offended, it's their fault. Absolutely their fault on every count. In a court of law, it wouldn't even come to a court case because it would be just too laughable. So, general summary, you know, I would love to see that the Cowboy artwork return to all stand venues, because it's not Stan's fault. I mean, as I said, especially in the Glasgow venue, that same bit of artwork has been up multiple decades with no complaints. Well, what suddenly changed all of a sudden in maybe only the last 2 or 3 weeks? I think it's been just, a few people. Maybe they got roasted by the comedian on stage for heckling, and they've decided to pull a below the belt maneuver and get a much valued and much known bit of art removed for absolutely no reason whatsoever. None of these people have PTSD. None of them have any disorder under the DSM-5, so you can't even see that. So ultimately, it's going to have to be said they were just stirring up shit, essentially. I don't believe they're what you call knicker wetters. I do not believe there are people swirling about the place going, I'm offended at everything. I just think this is a get me back for some night it possibly went wrong. Caveat I am to says buyer beware. So just always remember, if it has a 18 logo on it, it's going to be extreme, and if you choose to defy that and get offended, you're an idiot. We were all once upon a time very, very Clydesdale built, with broad shoulders. We put up with a lot of stuff. We wiped ourselves down and had a smile on our face and continued our way. Why we've deviated from this, I don't exactly know, and it's pretty sad actually. Right, anywho, that's the end of me warbling on.